How to use data loader to perform insert, update, upsert, delete, or export activities. What if your Salesforce org doesn't have API enabled or the API for the day is exceeded? What will happen next? What if you always get CSV file with the different column headers than the fields in Salesforce? Will you be able to map them manually, and will you be able to use that mapping for your future data management activities? All these questions are answered in today's video, so please watch it till the end. Hi, welcome to my channel Tech Trivia. I'm Siddharth, and as you know, in today's video we are going to discuss or learn data loader, a tool that Salesforce offers to perform your data activities. Now you can install this tool right from your Salesforce setup menu. I'm going to provide a link in the description that has got all installation steps. So pause the video for a moment, install the tool first, and then continue watching this video. So I hope you have installed the data loader in your laptop or desktop already. And now I'm gonna show you how this will look like. So let me share my another screen, and you'll see a shortcut to data loader. So once you click on that shortcut added on your desktop, it opens the tool like this, and you'll see a few options over there: insert, update, upsert, delete, export, and export all. So I think insert, update, upsert, or delete I no need to explain. So let's talk about the difference between export and export all. So when you delete records in Salesforce, the deleted records will stay in the recycle bin for next 15 days. So now let's assume you got 100 accounts and you deleted 10, and if you perform export operation, then export will fetch data from the object only. So you're gonna get 90 accounts. But if you use export all, then it will fetch the data from the object as well as from the recycle bin. So you're gonna receive 100 accounts in total, right? So export all will fetch the deleted archived data as well. All right. For update, upsert, and delete, you must provide a record identifier to data loader so that the data loader understands which record to be updated or deleted. Now, the record ID, Salesforce ID, is the best option as to use record identifier, but in many cases you do not have Salesforce ID available. So you can also use an external ID feature and provide external ID value in your CSV file to perform update, upsert, and delete functionalities. So for these three functions, either you provide the Salesforce ID or an external ID as record identifier. Alright, so it's time to understand a use case and use of this tool to fulfill a business requirement. And if you are following this topic since the previous video, in part 1 we use data import wizard to upload around 400 plus leads, and now GenWatt is complaining on those leads the status and lead source are missing, and the marketing executives at GenWatt are facing hard time to work with the incomplete leads. So now GenWatt is requesting you to update those two fields with the proper value. So first you need to export those leads which were uploaded last week, and once you have them in CSV file, you update status and lead source, and you using update command on data loader, you push them back in your Salesforce org. All right, and because you want to perform update, make sure to export the ID column as well. So without any further delays, let's get started. Okay, so first thing first, we are going to log in the data loader, and we are gonna export all of the leads we uploaded in the previous session. So I hope all of you have downloaded the data loader, and once you open it, you'll see a pop-up dialog like what is there in my screen, and you need to click on export. You need to use your credentials to log in the data loader. So in the environment, select production and then hit login. On the screen, use your admin username and password. It might ask you for the verification code. Check your registered email address or the mobile, and provide 5 6 digits of verification code. And then click on allow data loader to access the data of your org. Great. So once you logged in successfully, you will see the next button appears. Click on the next. All right, on step 2, select lead, and you can click on browse to set the path of the location where you want to save your CSV file. So I would suggest create a folder, data management. I already have the one, so I'm going to choose that one, and the name of this file should be leads underscore extract dot csv. All right, click save and then hit next. On step 3, you're gonna choose all those fields which data you want to see in the CSV. So mainly choose industry, lead source, and status. And you also need to choose ID because later we want to update all these leads. So we need to also use an identifier while update call. So select ID as well. Great. So now there might be like multiple leads, other leads as well. We just want to extract those which we uploaded in the last week, and how we can identify them. So right inside options allows you to add a where clause in your query. So basically you want to add a filter in your query. So click on the first drop down and choose lead source. In the operation, select equals, and in the last box we are going to not select anything and simply click on add condition. So you are about to fetch all of the leads where lead source is blank. Click on finish and then click on yes, and you notice there are total 452 leads were exported. Right, click OK, and then let me open that file. All right, so you notice you exported list of leads with 4 fields. Now in industry, you can type technology. For lead source, you can type trade show, and for lead status, just type open not contacted. And I'll just copy this 3 value for all of the leads. Alright, so we updated the same industry lead source and status for all of the leads in the CSV file. Save it, and now it is time to use update command in the data loader and update all these leads. So let me go back in the data loader and then click on update, select lead, click on the browse, and from the data management folder select leads underscore extract dot CSV file, then click open and then hit next. And on the initialization message, just click OK. You notice that it says your operation will contain 452 records. Click OK. Click on create or edit a map, and because all the columns and fields name are matched, so click on auto matched option and then click OK. Hit next, and in the directory you're gonna set the path for the location where you want to save all your logs file. So let's click on browse, and in the data management folder create a new folder, give a name logs, and then select logs and click open, and that is it. Click on finish, read the message and click yes. Awesome. And you notice all of the leads that are there in the CSV are updated. Now you go back in Salesforce, and if you have that leads tab open which shows list of leads, click refresh, and you notice the lead status updated from open to open not contacted. And you open any of these leads, click details, and you notice the lead source and the industry are also updated. Great. So we updated leads with the correct lead source, industry, and status. So now let's understand one other use case of GenWatt. So GenWatt is migrating the data from a legacy system to Salesforce, and mainly the data of 2 objects, accounts and contacts. And GenWatt wants to ensure that when you are uploading contacts, they should be relating to the account as how the relationship exists in the legacy system. And when you review the data, and what you notice, there is no Salesforce ID available on the data, right? Because the data is retrieved or data is fetched from another system. So you do not have Salesforce ID because the data exists in a legacy system. So what you can do here is you can utilize the external ID feature, and using external ID you can deduplicate data while upserting them, and also you can set relationships on contact to their parent account while uploading them. So now let's quickly log in Salesforce and create external ID fields first, and then use those fields in your upsert command in the data loader. Alright, so for this exercise, first we need to create a field on contact and on account, and we're gonna mark that field as an external ID so that we can use that field in the data loader to match the records. So click on the gear icon at top right corner and then hit setup. Alright, and click on the object manager tab. So select account, click on fields and relationships option, and at top right corner click on the new button to create a new field. So the field type should be number. Click next. Let's call it as mainframe ID. Length 5, and the list of checkboxes, make sure to choose unique and external ID. As we are making this field as an external ID so that we can use to match record, or we can use as an identifier, record identifier, so it is always a good practice to make that field unique, so there never be two records holding the same ID. Alright, so click on the next. Step number 3, make the fields visible. Hit next and then click save. Great. Now click on the object manager tab once again, and this time scroll down and select contact. Alternatively, you can search in the search option. After clicking on contact, click on fields and relationships, then click on the new button, select number data type, then click next. The field label should be mainframe ID, the length should be 5, check unique and external ID checkboxes, and then click next. Make the field visible for all of the profiles, click next, and then click save. Alright, now let me quickly open the accounts and context files, and let's review those files together. Alright, so the account file has got 19 accounts and with a unique account number, and that is basically the mainframe ID. Alright, let me also open the contact file, and in the contact.csv file you notice you got around 31 contacts, and there are two ID columns. One is the account ID, that's basically the parent mainframe ID, and the contact ID is the mainframe ID we're gonna use to match the contact itself. So the idea is when you are uploading the contact, it is gonna match the existing contact records, as well as it is gonna match the mainframe ID on account and set the relationship, and that's the column A where you are gonna use to match the value with the account's mainframe ID. Alright, so let's open the data loader and start the process. You need to click on the Upsert operation and select account. So we need to upload the parents first, so that while uploading child data we can set the relationship. Alright, so click on the browse, select accounts.csv file from the data management folder. Now I'm gonna provide the link of these two files in the video description. So just download this sample data from that GitHub link. Click next. You'll see the initialization message that your operation will contain 19 records. Click OK. In step 2a, it is asking you to choose the field that you want to match the existing account. So select mainframe ID. Now in our case, we do not have any existing account holding the value in the mainframe ID because we just created the field. So all these accounts are going to be created. Click next. On step 2b, all these options leave as not selected. So 2b is an option to choose if you want to set the relationship while uploading this data, and we certainly don't want to set any relationship on this account. So click next. Mapping, click on create or edit a map and then click auto match. When you click auto match, it matches account number with account number, but actually we wanted to match account number with the mainframe ID field. So from above section, find mainframe ID and simply drag and drop besides account number. So now you are mapping account number with mainframe ID, name with name. Click OK and then click next. Directory, on step number 4, make sure it's a path till logs folder. Everything is good in my case, so click finish and then click yes. Awesome. So 19 accounts are created, right? If you want to see them, you can simply click on view successes and you notice all those 19 accounts with their ID, Salesforce IDs. All right, so click OK. And now next thing is we want to upload contacts, but at the same time we want to set the relationship with the account based on the mainframe ID we are providing on the contact file, right? So click on the Upsert option once again, select contact, hit browse and choose contacts.csv file. Hit next and you notice it contains 31 records. Click OK. Step number 2a, so it's asking you to select the field based on which you want to match the existing contacts. Select mainframe ID, hit next. On step number 2b, for account, you're gonna choose mainframe ID because mainframe ID field is marked as an external ID on the account object. So using this value, we can set the relationship on the contacts that we are uploading. Click next. On step 3, click on create or edit a map and then click on auto match. And now you need to map account mainframe ID with the account ID column. So that's the first field on the above section, account column mainframe ID. So simply drag it and drop on account ID in the below section and then find mainframe ID from the above section, drag it and drop on contact ID in the below section. Alright, now this right mapping account ID value you are matching with the mainframe ID. Contact ID is with mainframe ID on contact. First name with first name, last name with last name. Click OK and then click next and then hit finish. Once you click on yes, you notice 30 records successes and 1 error. So, and if you want to see what error you are receiving, so if you click on view errors on that pop-up dialog, and you notice there is a contact named Jim Kelly which you are uploading and wants to set relationship with an account which mainframe ID is 20. But if you remember, and right there on my screen you notice we uploaded just 19 accounts, so there is no account with the 20 value in the mainframe ID, right? So this is a valid error. And now let me quickly open the contact file and let's search for Christy. Now you notice Christy is related, it should be related with account, the account which mainframe ID is 5, and that's Initech. Alright, let's verify. So let me copy Christy. Let's go back in Salesforce, click on the app launcher, select sales, and now in the search on the top just paste the value and you notice it's Christy Stephenson. Click on that and you notice it is linked with Initech account. Right, so it's working. We uploaded contacts and while uploading them we also set the relationship with the parent account based on the mainframe IDs provided in the CSV file. Great. Alright, so you learned today 3 things: how you can export, update or upsert data using data loader. And one of the questions we started with, because the data loader is using API, and what if your org doesn't have an API or the API is already exceeded for that particular day? And because the API is one of the features or options comes with the daily limit. So if your org doesn't have API enabled, then in that case you will not be able to use data loader. If you or your customer is using professional edition and you want to perform data activities just once, you can request Salesforce to enable API for your one-time data load. What if your org has an API enabled, but for that particular day the limit has been exceeded? So in that case, users won't be able to use data loader for the remaining day, and simply you can ask them to check next day and they will be able to use data loader. So I hope the part 1 and part 2, these 2 videos will add values to your knowledge about data management in Salesforce. Uh, if you like the video, if you are enjoying the content, then please hit the like button and also share this with others. If you have any suggestions, add your comments on this video. And if you are new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notified for all of my upcoming videos. So that is it for today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week with the new learning topic.